Throughout the history of the NBA, winning teams can attribute their success to either having a great front office, a good coaching staff, or an amazing roster. But the Dallas Mavericks, we do kind of have a combination of all three, as we have an amazing roster spearheaded by stars like Luka Doncic, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie Irving. We also have a good coaching staff with Jared Dudley, God Shamgod, and Jason Kidd, as well as an amazing front office led by Nico Harrison. And over the summer, we saw Nico and the front office do an amazing job, yet again, improving the roster without giving too much. But there are teams in the NBA that do have ambitions that feel like they could pull off one of the biggest capers in modern NBA history. And one of those teams is the Los Angeles Lakers, and in a recent article that was put out, highlights how the Lakers feel like they have a shot at getting Luka Doncic to join their organization in the next few years when they're in post-LeBron James era. So in this video, we're going to take a look at this article and give my own opinion on it, whether or not the Lakers have what it takes to actually get Luka to join the Los Angeles Lakers. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we do have a word from one of our sponsors. How's it going, everybody? Marcel Martin, this is Mavericks Digest, and we need to talk about bad habits. And when I was in the military, I picked up a bunch of bad habits that were very hard for me to kick. I'd be out there with friends, having a good time, then all of a sudden that urge starts to come in, and all the progress I made just goes right down the toilet. But what if I told you that there was an alternative to your bad habits? What if I told you that there's a device that you can carry with you whenever those urges come in? Well, let me introduce you to Fume, the vapor-free, award-winning flavored air device that helps you break free from bad habits. Unlike other alternatives, Fume uses essential oils to provide a satisfying alternative. With flavors like peppermint, lavender, and cinnamon, Fume offers a refreshing and enjoyable way to kick the bad habit. No batteries, no chemicals, just pure natural relief. And if you are serious about this journey, if you really want to just take control of your bad habits, well, if you act today, you can get a free topper with your order. It just pops right on top of your device. It's got a sleek design, it's very smooth to the touch, and it is reusable while fitting any of your Fume devices. And if you're still serious about your journey, well, here's a QR code on screen, or you can go to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com. Using code DIGEST, you can start your journey today. You won't regret it, I promise. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video. But like I said in the intro, a lot of winning teams in the course of NBA history can attribute that success to having a good front office, good coaches, or just a good roster. And the Dallas Mavericks are finally in a spot where we have all three. A lot of people, like myself included, have said that this is the greatest roster that we have had since our last championship in 2011. Some may say this is a better team than that team that won back in 2011. And the team is set to make it to the finals next year. I mean, we got Klay Thompson, we got Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, Spencer Dinwiddie. We've made all the right moves. We got rid of players that didn't fit. We got players that did fit. And Nico Harrison has done an amazing job. Jason Kidd has also done a great job last year after the trade deadline. And with this upcoming season, we have what it takes to do it all over again and be even more successful. But other organizations like the Los Angeles Lakers, who come from a history of success, they even have their own show called Winning Time, hasn't had the best recent years of success. They did win in 2020 when we were in the bubble, but since then, they have struggled to make it back to the finals. They had one year where they made it to the Western Conference Finals, but since then, nothing really has happened. But we do have a little bit of a news report. The Lakers have their sights set on Luka Doncic for the future, per Kevin O'Connor. And yes, I mean, who doesn't have their sights set on Luka Doncic? There's been a lot of rumblings and rumors over the last few years that a lot of teams look at Giannis with Milwaukee in case he ever wants to leave. So yes, I don't think the Lakers are the only team that have their eyes set on Luka Doncic, but there's no rumblings, there's no rumors of Luka being unhappy. As far as we know, Luka enjoys playing for the Dallas Mavericks as long as we continue to win games, as long as we stay competitive, and if we can keep making deep runs in the playoffs. I'm not saying we got to make the finals every year. If we do, that's great. I'm all for it. I would like many championships with Luka Doncic, but as long as we stay competitive at the very least, I don't see him being upset and wanting to leave. But there was an article that did follow. NBA Insider reports LA Lakers have sights set on Mavericks Luka Doncic. Could Doncic take over for LeBron James in the future? Well, let's see what they have to say. The article starts off by saying the silly part of the offseason is upon us, which always includes reports of the Los Angeles Lakers having their desires for the next unattainable superstar. This time around, it's Luka Doncic at the center of their attention. Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer reported on the latest episode of The Mismatch that the Lakers hope to acquire Doncic in the near future. I reported on this podcast and on The Ringer how they have their sights set for Luka Doncic in the future. O'Connor said, "We'll see if that works out. Dallas just made a finals. Dallas looking better than they've ever with their supporting cast. That may not work out. But the Lakers, by not trading their future picks, clearly are still thinking long term at this point. They're not going all in like you might expect many teams to do with LeBron James. So, okay, if you're preparing for your future, that's smart. You have a very old star in LeBron James who is still one of the better players in the league. You can argue if he's the best or not, but he is still one of the better players in the league today. But if he is your best player, that's not going to get you far. That's not going to get you to the finals. That's not going to win you a championship. You need more help than that. And Anthony Davis, although he did have a good year last year, is another year older. And the Lakers made no moves. The only moves they made this summer was drafting Bronny James and Connect in the draft. That's it. You got 2 new rookies, and you got JJ Redick as your new head coach. The Lakers are cooked. They've got a lot more that they got to fix than just looking at superstars. I feel like that's a bit too ambitious, and you got to start small by getting the right pieces. Make sure you can juggle your draft capital pretty well, and then you can go for superstars. But the Lakers, they've got the history of just always trying to go after the biggest name players. I mean, we saw them go after Russell Westbrook, and then that didn't really work out. It really showed us how bad Russell Westbrook has regressed in his career. And many other stars since then, many big name stars, even washed stars that the Lakers have tried to get, don't really seem to pan out that well. But the article does continue, saying this is an unlikely outcome, to put it lightly. Dončić has a player option for the 2026-2027 season, but will be eligible for a supermax extension that could be worth more than $346 million as soon as next offseason. Dallas will be very willing to hand him that contract because of how much value he brings to the organization and the city. The Lakers are always chasing superstars, and Luka is on the short list to be the next face of the NBA. LeBron James can't play forever, even if it feels like he has, and they're doing what they can to prepare for the future. James signed a 2-year, $99 million extension this offseason with a player option on the second year. But he's accomplished just about everything one can in a career and is about to play with his oldest son, Bronny. It wouldn't be surprising if he called it a career after the 2024-2025 season. So the Lakers themselves realize you don't have much left with LeBron. And again, honestly, like I said earlier, I feel like they're skipping a few steps. If you feel like your time with LeBron is running short, you probably should have traded LeBron to see what you can get back. I'm not sure what LeBron James looks like on the open market. I'm pretty sure he has a no trade clause, so he has to agree to that trade. And with him being in LA, his family's in LA, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't really accept any trade whatsoever. LeBron James being the face of the NBA, he has a lot of control over his career. He always has. But the Lakers are in a very weird spot. And going after someone like Luka Doncic, let's just say you try to give him free agency. You don't have the money to match. If we throw $346 million at Luka Doncic, he's staying in Dallas. All the wrong things would have to go right for the Lakers in order for Luka to ever consider, first of all, leaving the Dallas Mavericks. But second of all, what can you do better than the other 28 teams in the league that are trying to get Luka Doncic as well? If Luka were to leave the Lakers, he's most likely joining up with Nikola Jokic in Denver before going to LA, even though Luka Doncic on record has said that LeBron James is a player that he looks up to, that he does respect, and he did have a relationship with Kobe Bryant. So Luka putting on the purple and gold, it could happen. But so many other things would have to go wrong where the Lakers are the only team that could offer Luka the money that he's looking for. Then sure, maybe in some alternate universe where things don't make sense, yes, Luka Doncic chooses the Lakers over any other team, let alone the Dallas Mavericks. But like I said, there's no rumors or rumblings that he's unhappy. I mean, he's got all the support that he could have right here. Dirk's very much involved in Luka's life. A couple other Mavericks legends are very involved. We have the best roster around him in his entire NBA career. We just made the finals. We're looking to go back. And again, we're throwing the bag at Luka Doncic. I feel like we should pay him more than what we can. So the Lakers, there's no trade package at all that they could throw us, let alone there's no money that they could throw at Luka Doncic to get him. But if you want to be ambitious, if you want to try and steal our star, go right ahead. I'd love to see the Lakers try. But if we just continue with this here, Dallas is hoping Luka is the second coming of Dirk and stays with the same organization his whole career. They've shown a willingness to make moves and surround him with the best talent possible, proven by their run to the NBA Finals last season. Doncic coming off a third-place MVP finish, averaging 33.9 points, 9.8 assists, and 9.2 rebounds per game. He's led the Mavs to the Western Conference Finals twice in the last 3 seasons and is clearly one of the best in the NBA. He'll be a front-runner for this year's MVPs. The team is as good as expected with the addition of Klay Thompson. So there you have it. Luka Doncic ain't going nowhere. The Lakers can keep dreaming because this is very much a pipe dream for the team like the Los Angeles Lakers, who have a lot of problems. You've done nothing all offseason. You've made no real moves. You have a head coach who he's only ever coached like a middle school team. You've got LeBron James as your best player who is looking at retirement in the next 2 years. It just doesn't look good for the Los Angeles Lakers. But like I said, many teams are going to be looking at Luka Doncic. Once when he becomes a unrestricted free agent, when his current contract is up, if he doesn't sign an extension, a lot of teams are going to be looking at him. A lot of teams are going to try to do what they can and try and get him. I truly believe that Luka Doncic has no reason to leave the Dallas Mavericks as long as we stay competitive, as long as we keep the right players around him, the right coaches around him, and we make everything good for him here, nothing's going to happen. But a few fans have some mixed feelings about this reporting. If we just look here on Twitter, this user saying, "This made me LOL, but then my doomsday brain kicked in. What are the odds the new ownership group gives Luka a way to tank team interest / fandom in order to give them a reason to move the team to Vegas?" And a lot of fans kind of felt this way when they heard that the Lakers, when they heard the Mavericks were going to have their training camp in Vegas instead of in Dallas, where I really wasn't worried. I don't think the new owners are trying to move us to Vegas. They have a lot of property in Vegas, a lot of casinos and resorts. So I'm pretty sure they're just like, hey, if you want to have your training camp in Vegas, you can stay at one of our properties. It's very luxurious. You can have a good time there. Sure. I don't think that there's any master plan that they bought the Mavericks and want to move us out of Dallas. They lose a lot of fans because I'm pretty sure a lot of those Luka fans are just going to go wherever Luka is if they were to get rid of Luka. The fans will follow Luka, just like the fans will follow Kyrie. The Las Vegas Mavericks, or whatever name that they'd want to go by, just wouldn't really have the fans. It would be a bad move. But even Lakers fans don't really believe the hype either, with this one user saying, "I'm rooting for the Lakers and will continue to root for them post-LeBron. But they have to be the most delusional organization in all of sports. You're not getting Luka, not even a 1% chance." So that right there just goes to show that Luka Doncic isn't going anywhere. The fans don't believe it. The fans know that he is going to be a Maverick for a very long time, if not his entire career. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think that any team, let alone the Lakers, has a shot in just a 1% chance to get Luka Doncic from the Mavericks? Let me know what you think down below, and we could have a conversation. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making it this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. The winner will be announced the first week of September. But until next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.